In this video, we're going to talk about carbon brushes. We're going to tell you how to diagnose a carbon brush issue, what these carbon brushes do, what to look for when replacing a carbon brush, and how to replace them. So, without getting too technical, I'll try and explain what these carbon brushes do. In the flow of power from the wall outlet to the actual motor, the carbon brush comes in line after the power switch. You flip that switch on, allowing power to flow down the wiring of the saw to the actual motor, which is by design spinning incredibly fast. The brush's role is to transfer this electricity from the wiring onto the spinning motor by making contact with what's called a commutator. If the commutator and the brushes aren't in constant contact, that's where power issues can begin. There are two main symptoms of bad brushes. The first is intermittent starting of the tool. Sometimes it will work, and then for no reason, sometimes it won't. This is especially obvious if banging or jostling the tool can help get it going again. These brushes may be worn to the point where they're making intermittent contact with the commutator. If this is the case, you can be sure they need a replacement, or soon the tool won't work at all. The other, less common symptom is just a decrease in power. The bad brush connection results in an overall power loss and can cause even more damage to the motor as it struggles to perform. If your DeWalt saw is experiencing symptoms like these, it's a good idea to pull off your brushes and inspect them. A damaged brush will be visually obvious. New brushes are square or rectangular with solid flat edges. On worn brushes, you might see general wearing from lots of use. It's normal for these brushes to wear down over time. A more severely damaged brush might have some chipping around the edges, which can indicate a problem with the armature. In both cases, the brush needs replacing. The only brush issue that can be solved without replacement is if you see the formation of burrs. These are little pieces of metal that get stuck in the brush housing and prevent the brush from moving freely and making contact with that commutator. You can try filing these off and seeing if that works before replacement. There are literally dozens of 700 series DeWalt miter saws. The procedure for replacing the brushes should be similar for all of them, but the parts required will vary. You'll want to verify which type and model number yours is by looking on top of the motor housing right here. To find parts for your particular saw, visit us at mmtoolparts.com, where we stock thousands of parts like these to keep your tools running like new. Now, let's talk about what we'll need to replace these brushes. DeWalt has made this a fairly simple process. We'll start with using a T20 Torx bit to remove these two screws right here and take this cap off the motor housing. The brush is located behind this plug here, so we'll use a flathead screwdriver to pull the plug and then just pull the brush out. So here's a good example of what a worn brush looks like. You can see the brush on the left is our new one, and the one on the right has been worn down just from general use over time. Inserting your new brush can be a bit trickier because of the brand new spring. But use two hands and hold it in by replacing the cap. Repeat this process on both sides and then replace your motor end cap. If your saw is experiencing intermittent or decreased power, it's a good idea to inspect your brushes. If you decide to replace them, visit us at mmtoolparts.com to verify which parts you'll need. If you have any questions or something to add to what we already covered, chances are you're not the only one, so leave it in the comments below. We try to respond to everyone to make these tutorials as helpful as possible. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have hundreds of how-to videos just like this one. See you next time.